What is going on, guys? And we're almost halfway into April, and welcome to another Buy the Dips, Sell the Rips video. Man, boy, have we been doing so amazing this month. A lot of 10X's straight on almost every single day. And we've gotten some really nice dips and some really good rips. But today, let's get started with the first one, and we're going to get started with one that's pretty strong. Today, we're going to divide them into some that I feel like the narratives are really strong and they just need that momentum for the market to come back. And some of them are going to be a little bit of riskier plays, but they still will do pretty decent in my opinion. So let's dive into the first one. So the first one we're going to talk about is Pengu. And currently right now, Pengu is sitting at 410 million market cap. Now, this is not a bad entry. Still think this is a pretty decent entry here, but I would want to get something below 400. If there's a possibility I could get something below 400, that is the play that I would want to go with. But still, 410 is still not bad. But I'm going to look for something like at 400, maybe 380 million. And I do expect this to at least minimum, once again, not financial advice, this is what I'm doing, to at least give you a 2x. Okay. It just might take a little bit longer because it all depends on the market. But we might just get the dip we want to because of what currently is going on in the world right now. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on this one, and we're going to bid pretty heavy on this one. If it does come down to where we want to for it to come down. The next one we have is Buttcoin, and this one in particular, it's almost coming down to the spot where we want it. Okay, so anything below 10, I think it's a really good bid, but ideally, guys, we want to see this one like around 900 million. I don't know if we're going to get that. It might bounce here from this 10 and go back up here. But I still think once the market turns up a little bit, it could go up. But the great thing that we like about this is the simple fact that this could actually come down to where we want it and give us a nice entry here. Potentially of a 2 to 3x on this one. Could even break all-time high, which is 50. But the market hasn't just been strong enough for, longer holding coins. But this one looks pretty good. I just want to make sure we get it at the right spot. The next one we have is another one that's coming down very heavy here, which is Pigeon, and it went up all the way to 4 mil. It went up to 9 mil. So I still think this has a really good potential of testing, like that 10 mil range. So theoretically speaking, what I'm expecting for this one to do and what I want it to do is currently right now it's below 2 million, kind of where we want to get it. Ideally, I would want this to be at 1.5. Okay, like around here 1.5, but that might be like we might not get there, but we might get to this 1.7 because it already came down once. So 1.7, anything below 2 mil, I think it's a good bid and think it can give you like at least a 2x on this one. But if you guys were inside Boltz Alpha, look, guys, we got this right here, guys, at 200 right here, and it ran up to 10 million. So if you're not inside Boltz Alpha, you're missing a 10x daily. In addition to that, 30 to 40x almost every single week. So stop missing out. All right, start printing and head on over there. The next one we have is one that we mentioned last week, and it finally came down to the spot where we wanted it, which is Ether. And this one came down to where we wanted it. It's currently right now at 10 mil. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this one because this is kind of like the bidding zone. But if the market keeps going the way it is, there's still a potential this might come down like around 8 million here. So we have a wider bid zone here than we usually would like to. I would like to keep this to kind of like between here, like this 9 to 10. I think that's where I would want it to range. But there's still a possibility just because the market, the way it is, could potentially fall down here in this hot pocket here. So I would keep an eye on this one. Not a bad time to bid. You could probably put a little bit of dust in there and see what happens. And if for some reason it actually takes off and does really well, then we could probably see this one running, okay? The next one we have one is called Crypto. Yeah, it's literally called Crypto. So this is actually pretty good because it's kind of bottomed out where we kind of want to take a kind of position here. Of course, anything below a million is kind of like where you want to be. Right now it's at 1.4, but anything below a million, it would have been a very nice bid here. But I do see that this one does have some really nice potential. If I move this over to the day chart, as you guys see here, this one ran from 0 all the way to 13 mil. Came back down to this 800, kind of going up a little bit. So nice potential to kind of get in here below that 2 mil range. I think it's going to test this 2 mil range and might come down a little bit. So we just want to keep a close eye on what it does. But anything around this range seems pretty good for a potential 2x here. to a 3x if this runs up. So this one's called crypto. The next one we have, guys, is punch. And the reason I'm mentioning punch is because it's coming down. And usually when coins come down, that is when we get happy because we buy the dips and we do what? We sell the rips. That's exactly what we do. So we're looking at this one, and this one looks like it's coming down, and it's coming down hot. So, it kind of went boom. And then, so I'm expecting this to be quite frankly with you guys, I do expect this one to break the target here of that 7 mil and keep coming down a little bit further. So I'm expecting this to come down somewhere here, roughly like around 6 million to 5 million range, and that is where we kind of want to maybe take a position. I don't think punch is completely over. You just want to make sure you get in here in a nice spot where you could get better X's than you would normally do. A lot of people buy here in the 20s and in the 13s, but you ideally want it to fall within this area here. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye here on this one. The next one I'm going to be mentioning is Wojak, and the reason I'm mentioning Wojak is for the simple reason that I believe that if the market comes down trending just a little bit, which is what's happening right now with the whole, things happening, in different countries, we could see that people are going to sell a little bit here, and we might get this hot pocket of this 4 mil range. I don't think we'll see 2.5 ever again. I mean, recently, but I do feel like we could probably see this 4 mil. So it's one to keep an eye on. I would not buy at 6 mil. It's not a bad buying zone, but I think it comes down. So I would kind of just wait a little bit, unless you're kind of desperate and you just want to throw something in there. The next one we're going to be mentioning, guys, is ALCH. Now, this is a coin, dude. I call this coin at 50K, man. I called it a 50K and ran to 200. So, I mean, Boltz Alpha is where it's been at, but to be quite frankly, right now, it's kind of playing with everybody's emotions here at 50 million. And I do think potentially we could see 42. That's kind of like where you want to get in a little bit just to test it out to see if it kind of reverses. It's reversed multiple times to like 180 from like the 50 range. So as you see here, 50 range, 180. Well, if you count the first one, that's 1, 2, 3. All right, 3 spikes here on this one, kind of trying to break this all-time high. I think with the way the meta is moving in AI, this is a very interesting coin. If you're able to nab it right at the right spot, where it dips to where and it kind of just consolidates, it does something like this. That is where you want to go because potentially this one could still give you a nice 3 to 4x return. So really crazy here. One that you want to keep an eye on. 53 is not bad, but anything below 50, that's kind of where you want to be at, to be quite frankly with you guys. So I would put an alert for this one. The next one, guys, we have is useless, and this one bottomed out at this 30 mil, 28 mil range, and now, kind of crazy, it's very interesting that it's back to 40 and it kind of tested that 40 range. It's going to come back down here. I want to say if you could get in within that 30 to 28 mil range, not bad. You can still get a 2x on useless. Still very interesting coin. The next one we're going to be mentioning, guys, is these are going to be newer coins and a little bit more riskier, but there's still a possibility that it actually has a good return. Okay, so these are a little bit more on the risk side of things, and you want to keep play attention to them and just want to get in the right position. So the first one is going to call Elon's house, and this one actually went really viral throughout the weekend. And this was due to the picture of the house that was posted, and then it got removed. So interesting narrative. Could probably get some news leeway. Right now it's at 642. Ideally, I would love to see this at 500 just to take a bid and see what happens. But very interesting narrative nonetheless. Could run, but a little bit on the risk side. Okay, this is kind of like an iffy one. It's more riskier than the other ones I'm going to mention in the sense that it could potentially not go anywhere because it doesn't get enough virality. But it's a very interesting coin nonetheless. The next one we have is a chair one, and this is just a replacement of the meme. And this one has been consolidating here at this 200, kind of 200 range. Ideally, 216 is not bad at all. Okay, 216, not bad at all. If you could get it at 150, 180, that would be interesting. But very interesting coin. If it does get some momentum, I think it could probably surprise a lot of people. This chair one at 216, not bad. But ideally, anything below 200 would be kind of a nice bid here. The next one we have is Moltz. And once again, oh, cruds. And so when I saw this one, I was like, it's a good time to bid, which was here like around 600, 500. And it looks like it got a nice little spike up already here of a 32 Solana bid. So ideally, not a bad entry zone here at 700, but you want to get within the 600 range. So you could probably put a little bit, see what happens. This one looks very, very interesting. It might get a nice little run up as well. So we want to make sure we, we keep a close eye on this one. The next one we have is one called Unk. And this is, I'm mentioning this one because one did really, really well. Kind of like the same narrative here. And right now, 500 seems pretty high. I would kind of wait to see what happens here in this 400 range. That's where I would probably take a position, maybe something lower than that. That's the one we're looking at. And those are the coins that I think are going to do pretty interesting. Let's say we are able to nab another 10x on the buy the dip, sell the rip videos, because we have almost every single week. So we're able to. Make sure you guys let us know what coin did you pick up and which one did you like. And don't forget, every single day a 10x over dropping down on the Boltz Alpha, link down below. And on top of that, don't forget, guys, we stream every Tuesday and Thursday, so make sure you guys stop by and hang out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.